Take two. Take two. Hopefully we are good. Hopefully the connection doesn't die out. We got Rocky Boy in the house tonight. Right, Rocky Boy? I hope you weren't eating chicken poo. I hope you weren't eating chicken poo. Were you eating chicken poo? Were you eating chicken poo, my boy? Look at my boy. My boy is so cute. Look at this boy right here. Look at his eyes. Let's show him your eyes. Yo, come here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Look at this boy's eyes. Beautiful little guy. Yeah. Say what's up, Rocky. Here's Sandy girl. Come here, Sandy girl. This is Sandy girl. This is Sandy girl. She's a good girl. What's going on, everybody? Tony from Learn Auto Body and Paint. Welcome to the show tonight. Hopefully you guys get some golden nuggets, words of wisdom, whatever it's worth. Jim from Arizona. So we got cut out earlier. Not sure what happened. I don't know. Recently we get cut up. Harry, Brooklyn in the house. So guys, quickly state out where you're from, if you're a VIP or not. If you're a VIP, say VIP in the house and shout out your hometown. If not a VIP, put newbie in the house. Jimmy, VIP Kenya. Carl from Philippines. Baltimore in the house. New York, VIP. Jonathan, we're in New York. St. Louis, VIP in the house. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are on. Edmonton, VIP in the house. So if you people on here getting on, you're brand new, if you want to learn about VIP, click the link over here after the replay is up. Not right now. There's no link there, but it's going to be right there or down below. VIP in the house, Maynard, Texas. Awesome. You guys are great. Great. Okay, so tonight's show is mostly for you guys. I'm going to answer your questions, VIP guys. And also I'm going to show you the project, the progress we've made. I got on it a little later than I wanted to today. You can see I'm all dusty and new VIP. What's up, Mundi? Thank you for supporting the crew. Arizona nigga Martin in the house. Nuevo, California. All right. So this thing was supposed to be primed. That was my goal, but it's ready for primer. I basically got to mix it and shoot it. So am I going to prime it tonight? I should. Bug went in my ear. Or am I going to just prime it tomorrow? My goal is to paint this thing within the next week. I want to shoot for, if I could have this thing primered, we'll give you a tour of this thing now. If I can get this thing primered by tomorrow, well, I can primer. I should make it a goal to primer tomorrow. I could probably water sand it down and shoot it on Sunday. So I may be painting this thing on Sunday. That's kind of like my goal-ish. We'll see what happens. But if I could get it done on Sunday, that would be awesome. New VIP in the house. Great, guys. Hey, Maynard, what's going on? Long time no see. What size tip do you recommend when shooting flake? If you're using mini flake, you could shoot with a 1.4 tip, mini flake. 1.3, 1.4, it comes out, no problem. When do I figure this thing uploaded? So whenever it's done, give me about 2 to 3 weeks and it'll be uploaded to VIP. Probably around 2 weeks. I'm gonna crank hard on it. How much flake do you use for a whole car? It all depends on how much flake you want it to have. You know, it all depends, really. Like if you're, okay, here's how it works. If the more micro your flake is, the less flake you're gonna need, because it's just gonna get mixed up really well in your clear coat or your mid coat, and it'll lay out nice. And every coat that you do will double the effect. Best lighting, fluorescent or LED? It depends. I use fluorescent. I've never really painted with LED. I'm sure a daytime LED would be fine. Is the Pearl and Flake discount over? It is over. I'm sorry about that. Can I spray over epoxy primer? Absolutely. Yes, you can. What causes primer bubbles over Bondo? Air. How do you prevent solvent pop? Making sure your paint is dry before clearing it, pretty much, and doing your base coats, making sure your paint is dry. You want to give it time to dry. So, since the questions kind of slowed down, what's the best sandpaper to remove paint? Again, it depends. If you're trying to remove all the paint, you might want to use a 80 to 100 grit if you want to get it down to bare metal. If you want to, it depends on what you're trying to do here. It's hard for me to answer just what, it's a very vague question. How do you prevent bubbles over Bondo? I don't understand what you're talking about. Bubbles over Bondo. Thanks, Tony, for the Mini X16 prize. I still need to shoot my unboxing. Well, get to it. Shoot it. I'm glad you won it. That's awesome. It's a cute little gun. You said let the paint flash 45 minutes before clearing. Yeah, give or take. 45 minutes should be good. Can I paint my entire car with a 60-gallon compressor with only 11.5 CFM? You could probably do it depending on the gun that you use. You may want to use a low volume, low pressure spray gun. And that's pretty much the MP versions that we have on Zula.com if you're looking at the Atom models. So the truck is all sanded down, body work is done. Yes, does plastic need to be completely primer to base coat? Absolutely, yes. Here is the bumper cover that I body worked. Okay, so it had a big dent here, scratches, so we sanded it down. It's roughed at about 150 grit right now. Okay, this is the bottom where we patched it with epoxy. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is wet sand the whole thing with 400 grit. Wet sand it and then primer it. 2K primer the whole thing. 2 to 3 heavy coats. Had a little damage here. And then we basically sand it flat. Sand it very smooth. And if you see any imperfections during that process, then you're going to do a little bit of glaze putty on top of that. Little sections here and there. And then basically water sand the glaze putty. Reshoot primer because you don't want to paint over glaze putty, right? And you should be good to go for paint. And that's exactly what I'll be doing on this project here. So, yeah, so cool. How much paint would I need for my Chrysler 300? It depends. Are you going to be changing the color? Are you doing door jambs? Or are you just doing the same color outside the car, right? You got to give me more detail. Would I need to primer door jambs or just sand the clear coat? You could just sand the clear coat. What if there is black spots of black showing? I don't get that. If I wet sand plastic, do I still need to use plastic primer? You could use an adhesion primer. So what I want to do with this is after I sand it, I'm going to spray a little adhesion coat on it and then put my 2K primer on top of that. And I have that. It comes in a spray can like this. It's called Adhesion Promoter. Do you need to clear coat door jambs? Of course. If you want it to be shiny, you clear coat it. So this is what I use. Adhesion Promoter, Bulldog. Okay, makes paint stick, designed for spot repair, ready to paint in 5 minutes. So what I do is water sand this bumper cover, 400 grit, let it dry really good. I'll spray this mostly on the plastic area, not really too much on the filler. And then I'll 2K prime it heavy, 2-3 times, and then I'll water sand it and it's ready for paint. Okay, you don't need to put this on it to put paint on it. If you're painting over 2K primer, that's a good foundation. This is good for raw plastic, for primer to stick. Or if you're just gonna screw the primer and just shoot this and base coat on top of it. You can do that. But if you want a nice finish, you wanna make sure to put primer on it, because primer basically fills in the little texture. There's little texture in these plastics, as you know. Primer basically fill that in, and when you sand it flat, it'll actually look like glass. So when you paint it, it'll look like a metal piece of the car. You know what I mean? It'll be very glossy. It won't have that textured look. That's what I like to do with those plastic pieces. So here we go. The truck, body work all done. Okay, this is all 360 grit, done. Everything is 360. The whole truck is sanded down with 360 grit. Okay, just has to be painted. We even did down here. Can you water sand Bondo and not soak up water? You can, but there's no reason to water sand Bondo. No reason to, but if you wet it, it'll be fine. Like some of these spots in here, I'm actually gonna wet sand handles, under the handles. I might wet sand some of this area, and some of the Bondo might get wet, but you could wash it down, no problem. Let it dry really good. I would suggest you wait a day before you prime it. Make sure it's clean, and then you could prime it. So some people say if you wet Bondo, it's gonna mess you up. It doesn't mess you up. Just let it dry really good. If it's a hot day, it'll dry in a few hours. If you're leaving it overnight, it'll pretty much be dry. If a little water drop lands on the first coat of clear, how do I remove it? What you do is get a paper towel and make a point out of it and just dab it. Go like this, make a point out of it and dab it in the water, let it soak it up. Okay, then what I would do is flood that area with clear, dust it a couple times, and then spray as normal. If you have a little imperfection, you could probably just buff it out at the end, but you want to make sure to load your clear coat on that. So, ready for paint. Thank you. Your work is awesome. Thank you so much. Would you recommend to remove rhino lining off plastic if you had rhino lining on that? Yeah, of course. If you want to remove it to give it a smooth finish, then yeah, you got to remove it. How many spray guns should I have? It's up to you. You know, I don't know. You could spray base coat, clear coat out of one gun. You just have to clean it in between. So after your base coat's done, wash out your gun with thinner, make sure it's clean. Then you can mix your clear coat or have it mix and then just use that same gun as clear coat. You may want a mini gun. So I would recommend at least one large full-size gun like this, and then a mini gun for like door jams and small work. So I'm going to be using this mini X16 here for the door jams on this sucker too. I didn't get that last question there. You can see my little... What was that last question? I have, I'm actually gonna Raptor line the bed of this truck here with this stuff right here. And I also have my House of Color clear coat kit right in here, ready to roll. I got some extra clear right there as well. So pretty much ready for paint. This thing will be done within the next week. I did change up the design. So it's gonna be 3-tone, but it's gonna have a cooler design. Why does cracking happen on the edges of my freshly painted base? Possibly because it's metal under there. Do you have metal? It's probably not sealed correctly. You should have a 2K primer over everything. Your edges and everything should be 2K primed and then water sanded with 400 with no metal showing. It needs to be sealed. If it's not sealed, it can give you issues. How much was the House of Color clear coat? I don't remember. I think around 300 bucks, roughly. Little less, little more. I don't remember. 300 inch, you know, around there. What would you recommend to remove rhino lining? Probably some good old-fashioned elbow grease Maybe a razor, some sort of razor blade, a putty knife, a metal putty knife, sharpen the metal putty knife, or you could just scrape it off because that stuff is thick. Where do you purchase your paint from online? I get my paint from a local distributor down the road, English Color. But I get my clear coat online, TCP Global. How do you paint chrome gold? Well, there's a chrome paint that you can buy and paint. I should actually do some demos on that. I will do some demos on that in the future. That's a good idea. Maybe I'll do that to the motorcycle tank. Paint like a chrome motorcycle tank. What to do if I can't scuff hard to reach areas? Well, you gotta get to the areas somehow. I mean, enough to where you can see. I would use a Scotch-Brite pad maybe, or even water sand with your fingers and get in. I'm painting an inner fairing. So there's gotta be a way you can get to it. There's gotta be a way. Take the part off. So what I'm going to be doing on this truck is basically water sanding all the door jambs. Because we have so many grooves and everything, you're not going to get a DA or a sander in here, right? We're just going to wet sand, have a bucket of water, 400 grit, with my hands, and just water sand. It'll really only take you 10 minutes to do one side. Maybe 10, 15 minutes to do one side. Scuff it, sand it really good, and then we are going to tape it up and paint it. I mean, I still got some work to do. I still got some ways on this thing. The bottom in here, we're gonna sand and clean. This bar in here, I am gonna make teal. I told you we're gonna make this thing a 3-tone, right? So I'm gonna teal this section. Once this is all masked up, I'm gonna white it. No. First I'm gonna teal this section, teal it, because that's our color. Then I'm gonna line it out, mask it, tape it up, and then I'm gonna do the white. Okay, the white all in here. Sorry guys, I'm just kind of explaining right now. Hold the questions for a couple minutes. And then what we're gonna do is, after the white's done, we're gonna peel, we're gonna expose our teal line here, kind of like a classic look. And then we're gonna clear coat everything. So, initially, I was going to teal just this section. Now, I'm actually going to teal the whole side from the bottom here, from above these hinges, right? To underneath here. So this whole side of the bed is going to be teal. Okay, except down here will be silver. Below the hinges and the hinges will be silver. And then this bar is going to be white, as well as the top of the truck. Our teal is actually going to be even taller here. It's going to be from this line to this line. So it's gonna be pretty big. And then we're gonna do some cool designs over here. It's gonna look freaking sick. I already mapped it out. I already did the taping lines the other day. So it's gonna be a surprise to you guys when you see it finished. I'm not gonna tell you the lines that we're gonna do on it, but it's going to be silver on the bottom, teal in the middle, but a bigger teal. And then the top is gonna be white. Kind of like like I said, a classic style, pearl white. It's gonna look super, super cool. Do you have to scuff every cranny? Yeah, if whatever you don't scuff, the paint is not gonna stick to. So remember, you have to scuff everything. You gotta get it takes time, and your hands are gonna get sanded down as well. Thank you, buddy, Mr. Patel. Your hands are gonna get sanded and smooth. Sometimes I sand so much it gets raw, and it gets down to pink, and you can kind of see like a blood, like you're really sanding through to your. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like as far as in here, what I'm gonna do is, let's give you a better view here. So for each of these things, I don't know what my K5 means. For each of these, right, I'll be water sanding all of them. Right? Getting around. In here, I got to water sand all of this because I can't get in here with the machine. Okay? Here, I'll be water sanding. These little latches, I'll try to get in here and scuff them with water sanding quickly, right? You don't have to go nuts, but you do have to pretty much get it sanded. You guys liking this so far? Give a quick like if you are. And if you're a total newbie, after this replay is up, you can click the link right over here to download a free 85-page auto body manual and click the link below as well. And I'm sure it'll help you out. Looking good, brother. My K5 Blazer. Okay. How do I paint two-tone? We're going to show you exactly how to paint two-tone. Paint three-tone on this thing right here. It's going to look sick. Down here, the frame. The frame, I am going to Raptor line as well. Raptor line it. Why not sandblast? Because it's messy. You can sandblast it if you want to, but I'm not going to get into that headache. I don't have a sandblaster. I'm not really into it. You could media blast as well, but all that stuff is messy. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to get in there, scuff it good with sandpaper. The little rusted areas, I might use a coarser paper like an 80 grit or 100 grit. I'll show you. It's really easy to take off. Here, let me show you some of the work I did earlier today. I did a lot of sanding today. Damn, there's a praying mantis on the floor here. Okay. So like if you see areas like this, okay, you got rust in here, right? A little bit of rust. This can be all sanded out. Just scuff it with a little bit of paper. I mean, it only takes a second. Watch. This paper's this paper's dull, but you could even get a Scotch-Brite pad and the rust is off this corner here, right? And you just hit it with the primer, wet sand it, and paint it. If you wanted to get anal, you can. Basically take these brackets off, take the whole thing off, right? And have a blast, have a picnic too, and a soda, you know? But I'm not going nuts on it. I mean, it's gonna look badass when I'm done anyway, so, you know, it's not gonna go to a, SEMA show. I'm not putting it in SEMA. Yeah, use a Dremel. If you want to use a Dremel, use a Dremel. But like I said, I'm not getting all detailed and anal on this truck. I'm just doing the major body work and get it painted. Get the job done. I don't have all freaking year to freaking complete this thing. What grit am I using? It depends during what stage of the process. Feather it out. Feathering out, if your clear coat is flaking, you could probably start with like 280 to 320. Do you use the same grit sandpaper for the project, or do you always change? You always have to change it up. So if you're doing the body work, usually I like to start with 80 grit to shape the Bondo, the filler. If you're doing crazy body work and building up Bondo like freaking crazy, you might want to use a 40 grit, but I very rarely use 40 grit. I like to use 80, jump down to like a 150, 180 after shaping, and then you could jump down to like a 280, 320, and then prime it. What type of paint system for rims? Same kind of paint system. Base coat, clear coat. Am I self-taught? Well, I grew up, my dad had a body shop and painted my first car at 15, 20 years ago. So, been doing auto body work for a long time. I know what works. What grit on primer before base coat? 400 grit. You want to be done with 400 grit. That's like the best grit to paint over, 400 grit. Some people are going to say, oh, that's too coarse. Well, go to 500 if you want to, but I don't recommend going any finer than that. Can I color sand bugs out? Yes, you can. Make sure you load it on. And if you can take the bugs out while you're clear coating, take them out, and then load that area with a little bit of extra clear coat. How long did it take you to get comfortable painting? I don't know, I mean, I painted my first motorcycle at 13, my first car at 15, and that was a single stage paint job. I would say after my first car, I was comfortable, because by the time I was 18, I had other body shops hired me just to go in and paint cars, and I was getting paid $100 a car just to go in for about an hour, hour and a half and shoot the car. They would go there. All I would do was go to the shop with my mask and my spray gun, and they would have the car in the booth ready. I would just go there, tack it, and blast it, and they'd give me $100 cash. I was painting about 10 cars a week at that time, and I was 18. So I have a lot of experience painting. Body work as well. I've been doing a lot of body work. You guys, I mean, this is like easy stuff compared to what I used to do. I'm just not doing this full time anymore, I have other businesses that I attend to. Are you painting the jams? We're painting the jams the same day. You could do it in 2 separate times if you want to. If you're doing a complete paint job, say you're working on a classic or something, you could do the jams one day, clear coat it and everything, and then make sure you tape it really well so you don't get overspray inside. There's a tube tape, something that I use. It's called tube tape. It's up there. I'm going to be showing you how to use that actually. And it'll help you seal your doors here, so when you spray, you don't get overspray inside. All right? And then you could do your car outside and clear coat it and just have it done. Or you could do it all at one shot. So you could have your car door open, do your base coat inside, close it lightly, don't shut the door all the way, right? And then base coat the outside. I'm probably gonna do this all at one shot because it's gonna be easier. It's a small mini truck. It's not gonna be that bad. It's gonna be very easy to do. It's only 2 doors. You're not working with 4 doors. You're not doing candy. I'm not gonna be doing candy on this. I'm just gonna be doing pearls and flakes. And this thing's gonna come out badass. Wait till you see this thing done. I'll be using the same exact base coat, clear coat paints on the rims. The rims are gonna be done at a totally different time. After the truck is done. So maybe a month down the road or 2 months down the road. I'm not rushing the rims right away, but the rims will be done as well. I'm thinking silver with a teal cap or white with a teal cap. I don't know yet. The truck's gonna look really cute. I think it's gonna look really, really nice. Really nice. But like I said, I'm not going crazy on it. If I had all the time in the world, like back when I was 18 or 20, then I would go crazy on it, because that's the time when I didn't have anything. Excuse my language, but that's when I was just chasing girls and working on cars full time. Now I got a wife, I got kids, I got other businesses. I might be going to Hawaii next week to close on an apartment deal that I'm working on. So I'm doing a lot of other things. This is just me doing it because I love to do it, and I love to teach you guys and inspire you guys on how to do this. That's why I do it, really, because I like doing it. I like working on cool projects, and I like interacting with you guys, and I like giving you guys confidence that you can do this, and hear your stories as well. So you guys got stories you want to share your stories. Thank you, Angel. Appreciate that. So, another good news. I sold my BMW. What's the best way to cut surface rust to bare metal? Go hardcore with 80 grit. Sand it down to metal. What color flakes goes with black? Any color really. Here's gold. Here's rainbow flake on black. Might be 2. This is rainbow flake on black. What doesn't look good, kind of, it depends on the gold that you have, the gold that you use. But I've had one day I did a black with Inca gold pearl. The freaking thing looked green. Green. It's like a green hue to it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm lucky. It was lucky that I did a small gas tank. This was like years ago. But I did black base coat with gold pearl. I thought that would look sick. But in the sun, it gave like a greenish hue. And I was like, how the hell? And I think it was just the type of gold pearl. I don't know. Very weird. Very weird. So I never really tried the black and gold after that. So this is Rainbow. What size compressor would you recommend? I'm looking to get one. Well, if you're gonna go hardcore with bodywork, at least pick up a 60-gallon tank so you could paint the full car without any issues. So here's what I got here. 5 horsepower, Italian made. What else? Does it tell me the CFM it puts out here? 60-gallon, so it puts out about 16 CFM at 90 PSI. This is plenty. I never have any issues with this thing. It's a 220 volt, and it runs like hell. 60-gallon tank, perfect enough to paint the car. I've painted cars with 30-gallon, and you could do it. It's tricky. Does it run the whole time I'm painting? No, heck no. It goes on and off. Because the motor pumps up, it fills the tank really quick. How do you mask jams with masking tape? Well, there's a way to base. I don't understand when you say mask jams. Are you saying masking in here so you don't get paint in the cab? Right? So you can spray here without getting paint inside, or mask it here so you don't get paint going in when you're painting like this. I don't get what you're saying. If you're to prevent lines, I don't get it. Oh, well, you take the molding off. So I took the molding off here. There's a molding. Where is it? It's not molding, it's weather stripping. It's called weather stripping. So what I do is I mask along this line here, because when you push the rubber back on, you're not gonna see it. It's gonna be, like up to here with the rubber. So that's how you do it. I'm gonna show you, this is all gonna be videoed, by the way, and you're gonna see all of this step by step in A to Z detail. Like, I go over every single bit and piece in VIP. So you're gonna see everything step by step in detail in VIP, and you're gonna know how to do that. Do flakes going clear? We don't have tube tape. How to have a soft edge? You could roll your tape. If you want a soft edge, you roll your tape, and there's a way to do that. You just roll it. You stick it on one side and you roll it in, and then you close your door, and it's like a round roll. Okay, so let's just see. Let me see something here. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, we tape it on like that, and then we roll it. This is the sticky side, the outside. Gives you an idea. Okay, that's how you do it. It's rolled in, and you got a soft edge. That's how you do it. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm on about 35 minutes. We'll be on again next week. This thing should be painted next week. By the time you see this thing next week, it should be painted. Yes, no problem. So that's a cool trick. If you don't have tube tape, this is how you do it. Okay, and you just go around. The corners around here are kind of tricky, but you just make sure you go this way, and then you go this way. It pretty much matches up. And then there is other stuff called tube tape up there, which I'm going to give you a demo on as well. All right, guys. So hit the like button if you like the show. I will see you on next week, Thursday. And yeah, you could overlap it. And I'm probably going to prime this thing tomorrow night, get it ready, and then Sunday, if I could sand it, and we'll see. It'll probably be painted by the time you see it next week. What brand of spray gun do I like? Well, right now, my go-to gun is the Atom. You can get these guns at Zoola.com, ZOOLAA.com. Right here. They're much better than the Warwicks. They really are. And this is the X20. The X21 were sold out, and we're not getting another batch of these for probably about 60 days. They're having an issue with manufacturing. New company. That's what happens. This is the X21. Oh, cool thing. This used to be, the X21 used to be it is waterborne and solvent-based spray gun. It'll shoot both waterborne and solvent-based. The new version of the X20, this used to be only, what is this? Okay, this is my 1.4. This used to be only a solvent-based spray gun, but we just got the shipment, and all of the new ones, even the X20, is a dual-purpose spray gun. It is a waterborne and solvent-based spray gun. Yes, this is the MP version. This is low volume, low pressure, and it sprays clears like fantastic. We're gonna be spraying this truck, the base coat with the X20. Okay, I could shoot base coat and clear coat with this, but I'm gonna give you a sample, show you how this lays on the base coat, and then we're gonna be using the X21 for clear coat. All right, we're gonna be using the X16, the mini X16 for the door jambs, for the small areas. Maybe even for like some of the silver that I do down below. Hi Tony, yes, click the link in the description. Are the Atoms high volume, low pressure? They're MP, so they're in between high volume, low pressure and low volume, low pressure. Okay? They are really good guns. You could spray base coat, clear coat with them, everything. Okay? The SATA RP, what used to be one of my favorite guns, and that was a RP. That wasn't even a high volume, low pressure. And it was awesome. This is the Atom, the Mini X16 at Zoola.com, ZOOLAA.com. Check them out. They're awesome guns. I used to promote the Warwick, but these guns put them to shame, seriously. This is the X21, waterborne and solvent-based. Yes, the MP will work. And this is the X20. Now they are also waterborne and solvent-based. So all of the guns, all of the X20, X16, and X21, all of the Atom spray guns are dual-purpose spray guns now. They weren't before, but now they are. So that's a cool thing. What else? So that's pretty much it, I guess. Somebody said, will it work on a 21? What is the required CFM? I think it was, I'm not sure, 13 or 12. check out the website. Go to Zula.com and look at the description. I don't recall exactly. I don't want to give you wrong numbers, but go to Zula.com, ZOOLAA.com. In the description, there's technical details of each gun. Will the X21 have a 2.0 tip? It will have a 1.8 tip. We're stocking that. It's coming in the next shipment. We're going to have the 1.8 and 1.3 and 1.4. So a 1.8 is actually big enough for 2K primers. Best place to get paint online. I don't buy paint online. You could try TCP Global. I buy clear online. Sometimes I get mine from eBay or TCP Global. My clear coats. That's where I get my clear. But paint I get locally here at English Color because they could mix up the colors that I want. And I can pick out custom colors and stuff. All right, guys. So if you want to check out the Atom spray guns, just go to Zula.com, ZOOLAA.com, and I'll see you guys on next week. Thank you guys, VIPs, for being on. Non-VIPs, click the link over here to get a free 85-page book. I'm also going to hit you with a special offer to join VIP if you want to. If not, no big deal. Also, if you're on desktop, click the link here. Next week, this thing should be fully painted, and we're also probably going to show you the buffing process because I will be doing some parts of it and doing color sanding and buffing. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Driveway Auto Body, all you other guys out there. Maynard, can you repeat that question one more time? Thank you guys. Please do live. I might go live for a little while when priming tomorrow. We'll see. Maynard, repeat your question one more time. I don't want to leave you hanging. Thank you, Morgan. Morgan, thank you for the info. What else? Thank you for videos. I'm waiting. I'm not sure what time. Probably tomorrow afternoon. I'll probably have it ready, eat dinner, and paint. So I'll probably be painting it around, doing the primer around 6 o'clock, 6:30. I eat early because I got the kids. All right. So I'll see you guys on. We've been on for about 45 minutes. I'm getting thirsty here. Where the hell is my water at? Outside. If you guys are looking for, and this is not a paid endorsement, if you guys are looking for cool like water containers, check out the Camelback. It's like, this is a 1 liter, 1,000 milliliter, and it has this cool cap where it stows away in the top here, and you go like this, tighten it up, and it has a little handle here, so if you want to grab it. I like it. I've been using it for the past couple days. I got it off Amazon. Has a nice big spout. All right, guys. I'll be on next week for more Q&A. Have a great night. The X20 is a really nice gun. It's pretty much the same as the X21 now because of it that it sprays both waterborne and solvent. So I like the X20. Basically just a different design and look. All right, have a good night, guys. Thank you so much. See you on next week. I'll probably be chiming in while I prime this thing tomorrow. And also, while I'm water sanding, I'll be chiming in for a little bit. You're welcome, guys. Have a good night. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much for getting on. And have a great weekend as well. Again, I'll probably be on another 2 live streams within the next couple days. Quick ones, just showing you the process. Have a good night. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Cheers, cheers.